Happy New Year.
Grab a drink. Get ready to get cozy with us. I feel like I'm so far away from you.
I know, I'm sorry. I'll slide over. I am not really in place. He's worried about my dentist appointment.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Okay, but I know about that, so.
Alright.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy 2024. Grab a drink. We got some soda and tea happening.
Kendra.
Cheers.
Another year, another stream. Okay.
You're so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me.
It's been a while since we've pulled our cards, though. We were so sick and just kind of like
It was awful.
not doing much of anything. I think we both thought we would have hop on.
Yeah, at some point over the break, the winter break. We thought we'd do a lot of stuff, but we didn't do because we were sick.
Yeah, it was not an enjoyable break, but hopefully you're all healthy and well. And it's nice to get back in the flow of things, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's going to feel good to pull a card and see, like, first card of the new year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
could be powerful. I know. I feel like I need to, like, hold my cards and, like, play with them a bit.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
That's kind of what I'm doing. Just getting
Warmed up.
re-familiar with them a little. Yeah, warming them up.
Gotta cover that handsome face.
I was just licking. You know me.
I do know you. We've pulled a lot of cards, though. Like, look at this stack.
Yeah. Yeah, we have.
It's quite a bit that we're getting rid of. A lovely cough.
Yeah, I have a lingering cough as well.
It feels weird, like, doing this again.
How so?
I don't know, it feels like, it's been so long, like, it just feels like I forgot how, almost.
No, I know what you mean, so.
I'm just gonna hold my deck for a bit. Feel the energy.
Just feel the cards.
You look like you're all asleep in the chair.
No, I'm just like getting into my flow state with the cards, you know, like zooming into them.
Did you hear anything cool today? About the catching up you had to do?
Nothing super interesting. Like just today, I mean. You know, the other day I heard about the thing I'm going to talk about later. And there was news that we had heard about. And that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Sorry, Mom's sick. I gotta go.
Oh no. Do you need me to take care of anything?
No, I got it.
Okay.
I'll be back. You can go ahead and pull your card though, and I'll be back as soon as I can. You know,
Yeah.
5 minutes or something, probably.
All right. Sorry, love.
Nope. I'm sorry. I'll be back, guys. Yep.
Hope you still join us. If you have tarot cards, take yours out too. Maybe you can share what card you pulled today, or what deck that you have. Mine is a Celtic tarot deck. And yeah, just trying to get an idea of, I don't even know what I'm going to ask the cards today. So trying to get in like a good Zen state so I can think of what I want to ask. I feel like I always grab from the middle every time I separate the deck. I don't know if it's like habit or actually the pull of the cards. Like just the way you get used to doing things. So trying to like be more open to what I'm supposed to be grabbing from and touching. He's trying to get the dog to go outside. It's like not working out. Alright, let's see. I can do this. I feel like I'm out of sorts. Alright, let's see. The 10 of Cups. So that's my first card of the new year. Coins, sorry, not cups. 10 of coins. Pretty, I don't want to say like a basic design, like a simple design, probably a better word. Pretty simple design with like intricate details, if that makes sense. I love the weaving and the patterns and designs of the Celtic tarot cards. Like all of that I think is so cool. And that centerpiece is really neat. It like it draws you in. Coins is pretty neat. Like coins, abundance. But really cool with that middle being like purples and blues. Like pinks and blues, purples and blues. And then you've got greens, which I just naturally think of as like earth colors. I wonder if this is like air or water. And I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of what coins are. So swords are fire. Cups are water. What's the other stuff in here? Coins, cups, swords, and...
Pentacles or pentagrams or...
I can't remember.
Wands?
Is it wands?
Yeah, it's usually wands or swords, right?
It can be both. It might be wands, actually. Page of coins. Yeah,
There you go.
it is wands. So I pulled the 10 of coins, by the way.
Okay.
I was just trying to, like, place, like, thinking of what is what. But I feel like wands air. I don't know. So, yeah, this is the card. I was saying it's, like, pretty simple, but has a lot of intricate details. And I love the middle.
Yeah.
Like, pulls you in.
Yeah, great colors too, our favorites.
Yeah, and then
blue and purple.
I was just, like, noticing how the greens at the bottom are, like, earth tones. So trying to just, and then that's what led me to think of, like, what element
An air
do coins
blue.
represent?
Right, that's what that blue is, like a sky blue or an air blue.
Yeah. Possibly, or water even, if this
Yeah.
is air.
Yeah,
Just 'cause
it's
of
true,
the-
yeah, because it's like a layer, airier kind of.
Yeah, and sometimes
Okay.
those colors, like air, sometimes can be, like, thinky, too.
So what does do you feel like the card represents anything relevant?
I didn't actually look it up. I was just, like, looking at the details and discussing that, and it led me to think of just trying to associate what element with coins.
No, you can read it. Like normal, hold it up. People can look if they want. You can read the blurb about.
10 of coins.
Yeah, the card, the 10 of coins.
Let's see. So the 10 of coins have formed a rose hexagram with a cubic center of multiple facets. The outer 4 coins extend the boundaries but indicate a fixed position now reached. The whole design of the card signifies a completed success and suggests a retirement or a time to enjoy the profits. It is often a sign of old age and maturity. Oh. A climactic cycle or period in the life of the querent is now related to family matters. The home becomes the center of power and social activity. Grandchildren and dependents are a significant factor. Time to share the accumulated resources. Positive use of power and position, which can benefit others. Advice and encouragement to younger members of the family. The material wealth should be better invested.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. It does say, like, ill-dignified. Some loss of investments, but not a serious setback. A lack of interest can indicate a slowing up, a fatality in the family that was expected after a long illness.
Great.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, it's my card, though, so I don't feel like that. I feel like it is, I was like, what does my first card need to be for the new year? Is kind of how I picked this.
Okay.
When I was thinking of it. And so I feel like maybe it's related to, obviously we're not having children, so there's no grandchildren or anything like that.
But there's sort of the idea of building generational wealth, like, for yourself, because you don't have children, and so you, like, and as unfortunate as it is, I think the reality of most people's situation is they have children and they sort of end up having their kids take care of them if they get sick. And eventually everybody gets sick, because you typically get sick before you die. Sometimes it's for, like, years. I've seen it happen multiple times to people in my family, where they're sick, needing help for a very long time before they eventually die from whatever it is that incapacitated them. So, but that, like, is everybody, right? Like, everybody eventually is going to get sick and die. So, like, you need to have some stuff. A lot of people don't have what they need, and their kids end up taking care of them because somebody has to figure it out, right? But we don't have kids to say, like, somebody figure it out, so we got to do it for ourselves, so we got to build that money so that if I'm not here, you're comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, I like that it's, like, completed success. Like, suggests retirement, a time to enjoy the profits, and to, like, share that with others. And typically that extends to family, and they were referencing, like, grandchildren.
And we have young people in our life that are sort of surrogates.
Yes.
You know, like, you're a teacher, so you have a ton of young people in your life that you're, like, helping with and have those sorts of relationships with,
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes I feel like you get so much from these cards, like so much information. And then other times I feel like I got like a vague snippet that I'm like, I'm not even sure I know how to interpret this for myself right now. Did you not like the one you pulled?
Well, I thought maybe it was jumping out at me, but I
Oh,
don't
was
think
it?
so. I think I'm still not like fully connected to the deck here and ready to
So you're
do what I need to do. Yeah, usually I'm like at least thinking about pulling a card. Like if I'm
Mhm.
thinking about it and that happens, I try to consider it any time, but I'm just a little fumbly, I think, today with my cards.
So I was just looking at the suits and what they represent, just because that's what I was wondering beforehand.
Yeah.
So for this, it says wands are fire, cups are water. So then what are swords?
Okay.
Air. The magician again. You're always getting this guy.
I don't remember what it means.
It's your test. The cards are asking you to test your knowledge from past times.
The magician. Skill, diplomacy, concentration, will, self-confidence. The magician stands before a table where all of his tools are seen. These represent the four suits of the tarot: swords, wands, cups, pentacles. His double-ended wand emphasizes his motto of as above, so below. He is the connecting link between the spirit realm and the human realm. Hanging from his neck is the Ouroboros, which is the
How do you say it?
Ouroboros. Ouroboros. I think.
I think I say it differently.
Which the alchemists use to represent infinity. The bracelet he wears carries other arcane symbols. He understands the connection between the elements and his own material and immaterial self. Air is the mind. Fire is the spirit. Water, the emotions. Earth is the body.
I think that's you. And I think I thought this last time. Like,
What?
this is like your card. This is like when you're at your best, who you are. Someone that is like embodies all the elements of power and is able to use them to like divine good things, you know?
I could see that, yeah. I guess so. That's nice. That's a nice thought to have there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I hate when I pull a card and I'm like, I don't know if I agree with this or like this, you know?
No, I do, but...
Or like, what is there to gain from this?
Yeah.
But it is an earth sign, so swords are associated with air in my deck, which I incorrectly said was fire. But because it's supposed to be like problem solving, and so it's a like higher order thinking,
Right.
which is associated with air often. So coins are to earth. So there's a lot of like earth energy here.
We love the earth.
Mm-hmm.
That Lil Dicky song, right? We love the earth.
Oh my god,
We
yeah.
are its children.
I was just thinking of that video. Yeah, that's exactly it.
It's a cool
oh
video.
My god.
It's a really cool video. It's good animation. So, like, the thing I had seen that I was going to tell you about that we should look further into probably, because I still haven't looked as far into it as I'd like. I haven't really looked much at it at all. I just kind of heard about this thing. But it, like, reminded me of, like, astral projection. Like, that sort of idea, and, like, the concept of, like, there being, like, a sea of, like, information almost around us constantly that, like, some people are just naturally more attuned to or can connect to, and that's, and there, it was like a Russian, I think it was like a Russian experiment,
Mm-hmm. Oh, just flipped to.
where it had something to do, they call it a Kazmarov mirror, I believe,
Okay.
but it's like a tube that you like lay inside of. It's like just an aluminum tube basically.
Okay.
And the idea is that it can help you, I guess, tap into this other information, this other, you know what I mean, this other frequency more easily, and like you can do so. Like I think the idea is like remote viewing, but also because you're able to. The idea is because you're able to view other spaces, right?
Mm-hmm.
And space is space-time, and you can also view other times.
Oh, that's weird.
Right. And, obviously, it's all, like, super out there stuff, but it's interesting to think about. I've heard that there's, that you could build one for yourself and just try it, and I'm like, I love that. I'd like to try that maybe, just to see, as silly as it is, if it's not like, alright, if it's like $100 on an Saturday afternoon, like, sure, sign me up, I'll build one of those things and lay down inside of it and see what happens, like, probably nothing.
So, there were people that conducted this experiment, so to speak?
Yeah, from what I understand, it's the way that I heard the story, yes. For a considerable amount of time, there were a number of people, like, doing this thing, laying down inside this machine and claiming to have experiences where one person said they saw themselves as a younger person, one person said they were able to see another person they knew but in a different location on Earth and know what they were doing.
Interesting.
Those sorts of things.
And it's observational, like they're not able to interact or engage with.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there was a story of someone claiming to have been able to have an effect, an impact of some kind, but I don't. Like I said, I haven't really looked into it at all.
Yeah, it was just something you stumbled across. What is it called again?
Kazmarov mirror.
Okay.
I believe. But it was just one of those things that I thought, I should look into it more, because if I get to far enough where I can figure out how to put one of the things together and how much it costs and how long it would take me, and I don't come across a piece of information where I'm like, oh, never mind.
Right.
This isn't worth doing. Like, I don't have some reason to not do it, then, yeah, sure, I'll do it. What the heck?
Yeah.
But I figure I'll stumble on something that I'm like, oh, okay, I understand how this story got to be considered by anyone, even,
Yeah.
like, and that it isn't anything, because 9 times out of 10, that's what it is. It's like,
What do you think the tubing is intended for? And you said it's aluminum, so essentially
I think it's
reflective.
Aluminum. Yeah, I guess so.
A mirror.
So it had to do. So it's like physics stuff. It had to do with the bending of space-time, I believe.
Mhm.
And that you could have like a corkscrew almost, like of space-time, and so if you can do that, you can kind of basically wrap it around on itself. I don't understand how that translates into it potentially amplifying some kind of frequency because of its cylindrical shape that you're laying down inside of, but that was something that was mentioned, and I don't know. Like, once you start mentioning stuff like that, I'm like, okay, I mean, I can try to understand some of those concepts and things, but I think if we're being honest with ourselves, people who aren't actual physicists, we can get a very rough layman's understanding, and that's about it,
Yeah.
and if you're lucky, you're not fundamentally misunderstood, because so often the shortened layman's version of things is yeah, that's a way to understand it, but it's also factually wrong, basically. Like there's a huge piece that's missing or that you're misrepresenting because it's so hard to wrap your head around this concept, or there's no good way to say this thing. It's like a mathematical expression or whatever. Like, and I don't know any of that stuff, you know.
I just, yeah, and then I'm wondering, when people go into this tube, are they expected to do anything like meditation or shutting their eyes or keeping their eyes open? You know, are people falling asleep? Like, because you would think, and like, is there a set time? Like, I am really curious about it.
Yeah, supposedly the CIA looked into it. You know, if the Russians were doing it at one point, and you know the U.S. government was looking at it.
Right.
So.
How did you hear about it?
Anything. Just saw the YouTube, you know, podcast type thing. It was a podcast.
That it mentioned it?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I want to look into it. I'm curious. I mean...
you know, like, I think the idea of astral projection is interesting.
Mm-hmm. I agree. There's also, like, spells that are known that use a mirror and you know, water and a candle, and it is like a sitting and like you stare and look into the mirror.
Yeah, there's science stuff with that too.
And that's supposed to allow you, I mean, from the ones that I've seen, it's you seeing yourself in different times. You know, like whether they're concurrently times or you know, that gets really tricky, but however, you know, you want to view time, I guess, because that's hard for my brain to handle, but yes, but like, yeah, so you can, you know, use a mirror and water, and then obviously there's like recommendations of certain moons that you would get the water from, so you're not just getting water under any full moon or new moon, but a specific astrological sign that would enhance your ability to see into these timelines. And there's, you know, like, wait 3 days, and you sit with a candle, and then you're like staring to see these views of you. Yeah. I mean, there's lots. There's also that whole
mirrors are special. You know, they've always. I feel like mirrors have always held a special, like, cultural significance. It's one of the, like, things for almost, I guess, I would think most of humanity, right? Like, what?
What do you mean?
Like most human cultures, like a mirror, a reflective surface, like that's kind of a big deal, right? Like the idea of being able to reflect light, I think, right? That's like, it's like a tool, I guess, is what it is. So yeah, it does have like cultural significance to every human.
Well, and you have the story of Narcissus and the power of reflection.
Yeah.
And
Medusa, right, in a way, because the way to defeat her is with a mirror.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of that in mythology and stuff.
Right, and then obviously different cultures, you know, when they're mourning or just even
spooky times. Sometimes you cover mirrors.
Yeah, but also in some cultures it's like it's unacceptable to like have mirrors in every space. Like, it's like you have maybe one because it's a little bit more modern to like get yourself ready kind of thing, but like you're like taught and trained to be minimal with that.
Right, that it's a vanity thing having multiple mirrors.
Yeah, and I wonder if it is a vanity thing or if there is something else to it. You know, like, where did all of this stem from? Just the ability to see yourself? Like, I don't know. It is interesting to think about. Like, were people always just afraid of people being so self-absorbed? You know, someone took too long at the pond and was like checking themselves out, and they were like, "This is dangerous."
I mean, any tool or technology, right? I think there's a portion of the population that's gonna decry that it's the end of everything if this becomes a commonly used item. You know? Like,
This
I
will
mean,
ruin us.
yes, exactly. The
And like
car,
we're ruining us, okay, guys? It's us
yeah,
ruining us.
yeah, it's been the same thing forever. All right.
That's really, I'm like really interested in this. I am imagining you constructing this like in the backyard.
What? Oh, the mirror thing, the cylinder.
Yeah, and like I'm
Yeah,
like, all right,
let's do it.
Jay, and
Let's
I
do
like
it.
set a timer and like put you in there.
Yeah, we'll
Like,
stream it. We'll try it out and see what happens.
yeah, and I
What
want
the
to
heck?
do this legit. Like we're gonna have like, I'm gonna have a clipboard, obviously.
Well, that's if we like do the research and we don't come across some piece of information that's like, oh, never mind.
Okay, but I say that we do the research and we still conduct our own experiment.
Oh,
Of this.
okay, we'll look. Like I said, we gotta look at it. See how much.
But I really want to put you in this.
I don't know
too.
how much that sheet of aluminum that big would cost. It might be more than $100. You know, we'd have to see what we're willing to potentially spend. That's what I partially mean by research.
Do they make them like already like curved?
No, but I don't think curving it's gonna be the hardest part. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm so curious, and I want to know like, does it need to be like how tightly enclosed kind of thing? Like, do the edges? You know what I mean? Like,
Right? Can they overlap a little bit, or does it need to be like?
yeah, like more precise and like.
If there's a small gap, is that a problem? I have no idea. Like
I
said,
know, and like, should your whole body be covered or like?
The
your
photographs
feet
that I
stick out?
saw, they were basically fully enclosed, yes, with the two open ends.
Oh,
So like a slide for kids without the top or the bottom, and just an adult laying in it.
interesting.
Metal, aluminum.
So you could just go to a playground, and I'll put you.
Right, we're just gonna climb in an aluminum slide. Done.
And like I'll block it off so kids can't play
Mhm.
and set like a time. We're conducting a serious.
We're doing scientific experiments. Back it up.
We're doing science and shit, so you can't play here.
All right, I think that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow, though.
Yeah, and maybe we'll have some research on this.
Yeah, maybe I'll look into it.
I'll look into it.
Okay.
If you can't, I'll do it.
No, thank you, dear. I love you.
All right,
Yeah,
thanks for joining
tuning in.
us. We'll see you
See you
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Same time, same place.